that's actually kind of the fundamental problem I have with situating myself as an artist because I don't tend to do things that are deliberate fusions of different styles necessarily, but I think that happens automatically. So I'm not sitting there trying to combine like, oh, I'm going to put all these different genres in one band. I mean, my dream band would be a band that can play all the different stuff I like in the same gig. But I think it ends up being a little bit more organized than that in genre or in instrumentation or in just general influence. So I have one group. I just end up what I end up doing instead is leading several projects that I think could have their own audience. Um, like this is Cuban style jazz, or this is mambo, this is kind of Brazilian style jazz, or this is like a straight ahead idea. I have one group with a guitar player who plays a 7-string guitar, which is the used in Brazilian music, and his singer or his wife is sings, and we have a trio which we've had for 15 years or more. We were actually going to play in Miami this winter, and that group has fused a lot of different stuff together, but it's in this like kind of a chamber jazz setting. You know, there's no rhythm section, so we've set up the arrangements to have whatever we can get out of that instrumentation and the influences, which are mostly South American music and jazz kind of combined. And that group has its own audience. But ultimately, when I play, there's no way to keep those different things from getting in, you know. And I mean that's what actually impresses me about, like, let's say like a group like the Fort Apache band, because those musicians were really deep into jazz, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, that kind of stuff, and they were also deeply influenced by Cuban music, Arsenio Rodriguez, folkloric, Afro-Cuban music and stuff like that. And they managed to kind of speak both languages at the same time. I mean, if we're talking about, Jerry, I played trumpet in that band. Perfect example of kind of speaking both languages. So there's going to be some of that. I can't help it, you know. And I don't know, you would have to ask other people. I don't know if that is interesting to others or not, but I'm definitely channeling different influences into a performance. I also think I'm just trying to um, I'm trying to be better at all these different genres of music when there's people who basically devote themselves only to that one thing. So I always feel like you feel like kind of an outsider when you're dealing with so many different influences at the same time, because there's some people who only do one thing. you know I'm only a reggae musician, I'm only jazz, or I'm only this one thin slice of jazz style. I only play like Oscar Peterson, or I only play like this. And I've never been able to do that. So I think in the end what I'm doing is just individualistic, drawing from all the influences. But I do tend to have different projects that go in certain direction.